Throughout maritime history, sailors have faced the awesome and terrifying power of nature at its most extreme. In recent years, modern technology has allowed us to capture some of these harrowing encounters on video, providing a visceral glimpse into the perils of seafaring during severe weather. From mammoth rogue waves to hurricane-force winds, these recordings showcase Mother Nature's raw fury and the incredible resilience of ships and their crews. These documented storms at sea serve not only as a testament to human endurance, but also as valuable data for meteorologists and naval architects striving to enhance maritime safety. Let's explore some of these most dramatic and intense ocean storms ever caught on camera, each offering a stark reminder of the ocean's untamed might. In October of 2020, footage captured on board the 260-foot-long offshore supply vessel gave viewers a terrifying glimpse into the real and raw experience of sailing through a hurricane. To make matters all the more monstrous, however, was that this specific footage was filmed under the cloak of darkness. And if there's anything scarier than a ship getting pounded by waves, wind, and thunderous rain during the day, it's a ship getting pounded by waves, wind, and thunderous rain during the night. Even with minimal lighting, you can see the horizontal rain cascading the vessel in between 100+ miles per hour gusts of wind, all while the offshore supply team gets rocked by waves, towering as high as a 2-story building. About halfway through the video, things take a turn for the worse when a lightning bolt strikes the vessel in the thick of the storm. As soon as the strike occurs, the ship loses at least 2 radios and the gyro compass is damaged. This offshore supply vessel also lost its VRU component, VRU an acronym for Vertical Reference Unit. According to one self-ascribed expert who viewed the video, this instrument is tied into the DGPS navigation system. The ship's computer uses this equipment to keep the ship stationary, adjust heading, and keep the ship from rolling while external forces, such as wind and waves, are applied. So yeah, losing the VRU was definitely a big deal. While the details surrounding this incident are hard to find 4 years after the fact, it's believed everyone on board sustained no injuries, and the vessel was spared from any major destruction. However, there remains a bit of controversy over whether or not the storm was even a hurricane to begin with. One eagle-eye viewer pointed out that lightning in the middle of hurricanes is actually much less frequent than lightning in a regular thunderstorm, or a squall line if we're considering other potential maritime severe weather events. This is due to the need of ice in the atmosphere for lightning to be produced, and with hurricanes being warm weather systems, ice is rarely a trigger for said lightning. In the event this was a hurricane, and the footage was recorded shortly before it was published, circa October 2020, it was most likely taken in the middle of Hurricane Delta. Delta was the 25th tropical system of that year, and reached Category 4 strength in the Northwest Caribbean Sea. It then moved to the Gulf of Mexico, where this offshore supply vessel was stationed. Hurricane Delta would eventually move on to impact the Louisiana coast, but not before its violent innards were recorded for millions of people to see. It was a miraculous feat in videography, and everyone involved is lucky the vessel wasn't included in the $3 billion worth of damage Hurricane Delta laid siege to. Hurricane Delta wasn't the only cyclone to be filmed from within since the turn of the 2020s, thanks to a brand new technology available to maritime researchers. Unmanned maritime platforms, known as sail drones, are revolutionizing oceanic data collection. These innovative crafts, propelled by renewable energy sources like wind and sunlight, carry an array of scientific instruments and can be guided from afar along specific trajectories. In early 2019, a flotilla of these robotic watercraft embarked on a groundbreaking mission to circumnavigate the southernmost continent. One vessel triumphed, completing a circuit of over 20,000 kilometers in just over half a year, all while amassing valuable environmental metrics. As the 2021 Cyclone season approached, a joint venture between the Saildrone developer and a federal environmental agency saw the deployment of 5 specially engineered storm-resistant craft in strategic Atlantic locations. In the autumn of that year, one of these vessels, SD-1045, made history by penetrating the core of Hurricane Sam, a Category 4 hurricane, capturing unprecedented footage and data from within the storm's eye. Take a look. The most incredible part of the SD-1045 mission was its sail through the actual eye of Hurricane Sam, approaching the storm before being unleashed into one of the craziest tempests you'll ever see up close. It then glided out back into blue skies and nary a drop of rain, as if nothing ever happened. While it may be stomach-churning to watch for more than a few moments, the footage and overall success of SD-1045's mission in 2021 has allowed researchers to continue using this sail drone and its fellow instruments to be deployed in multiple hurricanes since, helping scientists unlock new clues and information about these destructive forces of Mother Nature. The vessel now known as MS Chinese Taishan has a rich history, having sailed under various names and flags throughout its career. Initially christened MV Grand Voyager, this passenger ship has been a part of several prominent cruise lines' fleets. Its most dramatic episode unfolded on Valentine's Day 2005, while traversing the waters near the Balearic Islands. During this voyage, the ship encountered an unusual meteorological phenomenon, a Mediterranean hurricane, also referred to as a metacane. This particular tempest, dubbed Cyclone Valentina, unleashed its fury upon the unsuspecting vessel. As the ship battled through the maelstrom, an enormous wave, reaching heights of 12 to 15 meters, crashed against the vessel's command center. The impact shattered a windshield, allowing seawater to inundate the control room and disable crucial navigation systems. Consequently, the ship lost propulsion and drifted helplessly, pitching violently in the tumultuous seas. For approximately one full day, the ship's 700 occupants, including both guests and crew, found themselves at the mercy of the elements. Airborne rescue teams captured striking imagery of the vessel's precarious situation. Take a look. Eventually, the ship's technicians managed to restore minimal power, enabling a slow, arduous journey towards the Sardinian harbor. Astonishingly, despite the harrowing experience, only minor injuries were reported among those aboard. Some of the passengers who remained healthy and able-bodied aboard the ship captured the turmoil from inside, adding to the dramatic record of the event. This incident followed closely on the heels of a similar event involving a related vessel, the sister ship called MV Explorer, which had also faced comparable adversity while navigating Pacific waters just weeks prior. A totally different kind of storm-induced maritime mishap occurred in the summer of 2013, highlighting the importance of proper cargo management during sea transport. This incident, which took place in the waters between the Japanese port city of Toyama and the major Russian Far East hub of Vladivostok, resulted in substantial property loss and raised questions about shipping protocols. The vessel in question, a cargo freighter named Astongate, encountered severe weather conditions while traversing the sea separating Japan and Russia. While storms are not uncommon in this region, what transpired aboard the ship was highly unusual. The freight consisted of 64 automobiles, but due to a critical oversight in loading procedures, these vehicles were not adequately secured to the deck. As the ship pitched and rolled in the tempestuous waters, the unsecured cars began to shift perilously. The icy deck surface offered little friction, exacerbating the situation. Consequently, a staggering 52 vehicles slid off the vessel and sank into the ocean depths, leaving only a quarter of the original cargo intact. Check it out.
Ну что, падение не зафотаешь, что ли, ёбаный рот?
Near the end of the clip, you can actually see a pickup truck fall from the side of the cargo ship before plunging into the cacophony of waves below it. The aftermath of this event proved particularly devastating for the vehicle's owners. Prior to the journey, they had signed a document accepting full responsibility for any potential risks during transit. As a result, instead of receiving their complete shipment in good condition, they were left with just 12 cars, many of which had sustained significant damage. This incident serves as a stark reminder of the critical importance of proper safety measures in maritime shipping, and the potential consequences of overlooking such crucial details. Another harrowing incident occurred aboard a ferry in a German port city when a colossal wave, generated by a severe weather system, breached the vessel's forward windshield. The event, which was recorded on video, depicts passengers in a state of distress as they sought refuge from the onslaught of water. The footage reveals the ferry struggling against tumultuous seas, with travelers being jolted by the vessel's erratic movements. In a particularly intense moment, an enormous wall of water smashes through the front viewport, its impact so forceful that it knocks a passenger off their feet and inundates the interior. The shattering glass can be heard amidst the pandemonium as occupants frantically evacuated the area, their cries of alarm echoing throughout the cabin. This alarming scene is part of a larger meteorological event that had been causing widespread disruption across northern regions of the country. Wind speeds reached nearly 150 kilometers per hour, as reported by a national news outlet. The storm, called Eunice, prompted authorities to issue advisories urging citizens to remain indoors and avoid proximity to structures, construction sites, and electrical infrastructure. The adverse weather conditions had led to a significant transportation disruption, with both rail and air services suspended. Obviously, the ferry systems across Western Europe did not receive the same consideration. Other environmental impacts were substantial, with rising water levels in local waterways and destruction of public facilities. While no injuries were reported at the time of this ferry video, the potential for harm remained incredibly high, on the open seas or otherwise. Officials in neighboring countries strongly advised against travel, citing risks of airborne debris and structural damage. Anticipating widespread effects, including downed power lines and damaged roofs, one nation's government had convened an emergency response committee to address both the current and impending weather crises. It's too bad Germany couldn't do the same, and lucky for them, human lives weren't the cost. This time,